So for this video, we're going to be going over the Detect Moving Objects filter found within Register 360. So you can access it just by right-clicking on your bundle. But in any case, I am still on the 25.0.0 version, and there is a known bug in this current version with this specific tool to where I think if you're over a certain number of points, it'll just crash out the software or the application or your computer. So I don't know if it's a number of setups or like something like 100 million points, 200, 300. I don't know for sure. But in any case, instead of doing this full 29 setups, I'll just break it down into a small little chunk, which should allow it to at least run and finish for the sake of this demonstration. So with this, again, due to my limits with this known bug and issue, I'm just going to go and delete a few links, break out my point cloud. So now I've got two separate bundles, and we're just going to go and run it on these 5 down here. So these 5 setups, 173 million points. There's high density scan, couple medium, couple low density, so nothing too big. So with this, we'll just go select our bundle cloud view. So within this bundle, this little guy, so again, it's nothing too crazy. It doesn't matter if you have setups that have colored images or not, or no color imagery whatsoever. It's still going to run the same. It doesn't care about the images or use images for the sake of this tool. It's just comparing one setup's point cloud 3D scan against the other setups to go and determine objects or surfaces or stuff that is moved or is not consistent from in all the setups. What matters the most is that your registration is accurate, dialed in, and ideally done. Because if you have any registration issues or misalignments, you could see it pick up like walls or the faces of columns or concrete or whatever, like objects that are clearly not moving. That could cause it to pick up features that should not have been. So as long as your registration is accurate, verified, and good to go, then you're clear to run this command within the software. So for these 5 setups, you can do it in sitemap view, you can do it in bundle cloud view, doesn't matter. I'll just do it in bundle cloud view, and then we're just going to go detect moving objects. So the more setups you have, the longer this can take. More system memory you might need to go and utilize. So you'll notice kind of as it's running, your system memory will kind of spike up a little bit or a lot, depending on how many setups, the size, everything that you're working with. And then as it kind of finishes up the command, it kind of gets timed out a little bit here, but you'll see your system memory start to drop back down, at which point you know you're getting close. So the more system memory you have, it just makes this operation run a bit faster. So once that's complete though, you will see this show moved points filter. Typically it's going to be grayed out. I've already run this command on this training data set, so it's already visible or selectable, but typically that's going to be grayed out until you run this on something within the project, and then you'll see those move points show up. So but other than that, it's a pretty quick process. Generally, it'll do a really good job. So you can see here, right, there's some people still in these scans, objects, filtering, stuff that still need to be cleaned up. So now I'll go turn it on. So now you're going to see within this bundle all of the points that it's picking up or it's classifying as moved points. So obviously there's people. Sometimes there's noise. So like this is a puddle of water, right? Terrible points for registration. But there's still going to be reflections basically because it's not moving, but it's still reflected into bad points. So some stuff like that I won't pick up. But the key here is, right, your entire sections of wall, your floor, your column, stuff that's physically not moving is not getting caught in that filter. You might see like edges of stuff, kind of like you see here, get picked up, but that's such a minor edge detail. I typically don't worry about it. Then I'm good to just delete all marked. But with deleting these points, you can just come in and use your fence tool like normal deleting, draw your box, delete inside. And so now it's only going to delete the points that are highlighted as red. So you can very selectively delete stuff like that, or you can just hit delete all marked, and it's going to go through all the setups in this bundle, and it's going to delete everything in one shot. So for me, as long as I typically don't see it picking up walls or surfaces that are physically not moving, and that I know my registration is good, 99% of the time I'm just hitting delete all marked. So the one thing that kind of tricks people is you always got to make sure, like once you're done in it, you have to turn this filter back off, because if you don't, you can't do anything else. You can't like really change into your tools or different setups. you have to turn this off, and then you can kind of go back into your registration. You can do more linking, you can do exports, whatever. It's just sometimes you're like, I can't do anything or stuff's grayed out. Check to make sure you have this show moved points turned back off. So with moved points, it's just visual points. It does not affect the cloud-to-cloud points whatsoever. So if I were to come in, and I know we had people between these setups. So if I come in here, I'll just do a quick orbit, see if I can show you in person. So right, there's still a bunch of people that are kind of caught within this point cloud. Kind of see there right beside the scissor lift. So like points that were cleaned up are still present, because again, the show moved points or the detect moving objects filter only affects visual points and what gets exported, not stuff for sake of registration. If you want to go filter stuff out for registration purposes or automatically filter some of that out, you have to go run classification. Then you can turn off different classes or families of points and have them be ignored for cloud-to-cloud purposes or cloud-to-cloud registration purposes. So, but that's kind of the gist of detect moving objects. It's typically going to be one of the last tools that I run or filters that I run in the data set before exporting, kind of when I'm going through and do my final cleaning of the point cloud. So other than that, pretty straightforward. But I think that's about it for now. And if there's anything else, we'll see it come up in future videos. So see you on the next.